So welcome back, and today we're gonna do another video, another chapter on the very scared thing which people are scared of, which we call as Manglik dosh. Everybody knows about Manglik dosh, but it is not really necessary that Manglik dosh is bad every time. Okay, so today I'll show you that how to look into a chart and find out that the person is a Manglik or not. Okay, so just watch. Okay. So I have put 12 signs here. As I told you before, you it could be different sign at this place, different sign at this place. It's not necessary it is number one always here. It could be two, it could be three, okay? So Manglik, what is Manglik is? In the Manglik case, we consider only one planet called Mars. Mars. So what does the Mars do? Now, from the Lagna, okay, say if Mars is sitting in this house, first house, or Mars sit in the fourth house, okay, or Mars sits in the seventh house, okay, or Mars sit in this house. So these houses, when you find Mars sitting in any of these houses, that person is a Manglik person. So those houses are which one? First house, fourth house, seventh house, eighth house, and also 12th house. Okay. So when at these positions, one, two, three, four, five positions, when Mars is any of these positions, Mars is sitting in a birth chart, we consider the person as a Manglik person. Now, what happens when the Mars sits any of these houses? What does the Mars do? Mars is a fiery planet, a strong planet. So wherever the Mars sits, where the Mars aspects, it looks at the other house, it produces the heat in the relationship. For example, if Mars is sitting in the Lagna, the first house, now the first thing we have to look into this is, so okay, forget this, and forget this. The first house, the Mars is sitting in the first house. Now from the Mars, I told you before, the Mars has three aspects: fourth, seventh, and eighth. 4, 7, and 8th aspect from where the Mars is sitting. So look, from start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Mars will look into this house, 7th house, and 8th house. So what does it mean by if it is looking in these houses? What is doing? Mars is a malefic planet, hard planet. It's a soldier, and the nature of the soldier is to fight, is to oppose. Okay, so Mars when looks into the fourth house, which is the house of our comfort zone, our luxury, our motherly feelings, comfort of our life, and happiness of our life, that gets destroyed or it gets affected badly due to the aspect of Mars. So that person who has a Mars in the Lagna, most probably they have disturbed house peace. They'll have always some kind of issues going on in the house. And then Mars is aspecting the seventh house, which is the house of wife, partnership, spouse. So when the Mars is aspecting on this house, it is creating egoistic problem with the spouse. Okay, it is giving a malefic aspect on it. So that's why this house suffers, gets damaged, and the married life has problems. Like the husband and wife will be fighting with each other for little things, ego problem, or it could be house violence. Okay, it could be any kind of thing. And it again depends what is the placement of the Mars and what other planets are sitting with the Mars and looking at the Mars. Also, in the eighth house, when the Mars looks at the eighth house, it gives you, it's a house of transformation, death. Okay, so Mars is a fiery planet, a soldier. Okay, his main thing is to fight and death. So this creates a problem in the life, the longevity of the person. And in the other sense, if we're looking into a married life, we say this house is a marriage, seventh house, and eighth house is the growth of marriage. Always remember, the house next to the house is it's the growth house. If the lagna is the first house, then the native's growth is the second house. Same thing, seventh house is a marriage house, the growth of marriage is the eighth house. So in this case, Mars is also aspecting the seventh house and also aspecting the eighth house. So in both cases, the Mars is damaging the married life completely. So the person will not be happy in the married life. Okay, so this was a general idea. Now, this was the only one point I have discussed you for the Manglik, that is with the Mars. That if Mars is sitting in this houses, then what happens? Now, there is another way of looking into Mars also, according to modern Vedic astrology, that is from the Venus. Now, for example, let me delete it. All right. Now, for example, okay, I rub this too. Let's say Venus was sitting here, the planet Venus. Now, from the Venus, if the Mars is sitting at first, second, fourth, seventh, eighth, and 12th position, then the person is 30% Manglik. That's what some modern astrology people say. Look at it how. Say if the Mars is at fourth position, 1, 2, 3, 4. If the Mars is at this position from the Venus, still we say the person is 30% Manglik. That dosh is 30% strong, not 100%. So it would still give some problems. Okay. Same way, it will be sitting in the fourth position from the Venus, or seventh position, eighth position, 12th position. It will be 30% Manglik. Okay. Now, same thing from the moon also. Now, place from the moon is sitting is, say for example, if this was not Venus, this was moon. For example, moon is sitting here. Moon could be sitting in any house. You have to see from there. Or Venus can be sitting in any house. You have to see from there. Say if the moon was sitting not here, on this house, then we start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. I'm taking this house just because this is easy to understand from the first house. Alright. So from the moon, if the Mars is placed at 4th, 1st, 7th, 8th, 12th position, same way, same houses, then the person is 30% Manglik again. Okay. Even from the moon. And if, as I told you before, from the Lagna, if the Mars is sitting in any of those houses, 1st, 4th, 7th, 8th, and 12th, then the person is also Manglik, but that is 40% in that case. Okay. So 40%, 30%, and 30%. 40% is from the lagna if we have, 30% is from the Venus we look, and 30% another from the moon. If these all percentages match as such, the person is 100% Manglik. That means, doesn't mean that person 100% strength like a battery power, no. It means the effect or the damage of that yoga will be at its 100%. Okay, now there's nothing to worry about this, because most of the people have Manglik yoga in their kundli. Like, so it is just a rumor that Mangal creates a problem in the married life. Yes, it creates, but not being a Manglik, being a Manglik dosh. And it becomes a dosh when it is sitting in a wrong, in a bad sign, or it is aspected by a bad planet, the Mars. Then the Mars become damaged. So the damaged Mars or the worst Mars creates more problems in the married life. That's what we say, it's a Manglik dosha. Say if Rahu is sitting with that, if Saturn is sitting with the Mars, then it worsens the situation. And in that case, the person is actually a Manglik dosh person, right? So this was a little bit about the Manglik dosh. I hope you guys understand it. It's a general phenomena. So tell everybody around you that this is just a rumor. Don't go behind just to say, if somebody says he's a Manglik, then his married life is disturbed and damaged. It is not really like that. Okay, because some other planets also work behind it. Say if the Mars is sitting in the fourth house and it is aspecting the seventh house, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it is aspecting at its fourth position always. 4, 7, 8, see? So it is aspecting at the fourth house from where the Mars is placed. 1, 2, 3, 4, seventh house. But if the Jupiter is sitting here, in any case, then what? Jupiter is a benefic planet. Jupiter is a good planet. So it will defend this house from the bad aspect of the Mars, and hence it will try to save the married life of a person. And also, in some case, if Venus is also sitting here, okay, and degree wise it is also good, then what? It is more benefic. Then it will almost nullify the effect of the Mars, almost, not 100%. But the problem will still come when the dasha of the Mars or related the spouse house related planets, when the dasha of those houses will come, then definitely it will give the problems in the married life. There could be little disturbance or violence in the house, but if the person knows about it, they understand this thing, there's never a problem in a married life. That's why we match the kundlis, we match the birth chart before getting married, just to let them know that, hey, listen, you guys have a problem in the future regarding ego problems, okay, regarding kids, regarding financial matters. So you gotta be careful with that. Don't get excited if you have an ego clash. That's just because of your planet. So you guys have to understand that you have to put your ego in your pocket for happy married life. So if somebody understands this, then the married life is definitely successful. Okay, so this was my analysis about the Manglik dosha. If you have any questions, you can put in the message box of the YouTube. All right, see you then.